In the heart of the Peak District National Park, UK, where dark brooding skies meet the lonely wind-swept moors, there's a tale that stretches the boundary between history and the supernatural. A tale of aircraft and their crews that never truly left this earthly plane. The Ghost Bombers. Between the jagged peaks and the fog that clings to the land, there's an unsettling presence that has haunted the skies for decades. Stories of ghostly World War II aircraft, silent, grey silhouettes gliding through the air, above the living, but beyond their understanding. Our story actually begins in Lancashire, near the Rolls-Royce Bankfield factory. In January of 2004, over 30 witnesses reported seeing a strange grey aircraft, eerily resembling either a Wellington or Lancaster bomber, moving without a sound through the sky. This sighting was no isolated event, however. Over the course of the month, dozens of people saw the same thing, an aircraft flying low and silently, disappearing into the mist. This phenomena has been seen elsewhere too. The Peak District has had numerous sightings of this or similar aircraft over recent years, North Wales residents having seen the ghostly apparitions too. Given that the remaining UK-based Lancaster bomber had not been flying at this time, and certainly not flying at such a low altitude, no one could explain why the spectral aeroplane or airplanes were there, or where they had come from. Of course, skeptics suggest the idea that these sightings are nothing more than misidentification of modern aircraft. However, some of the witnesses have included persons who have worked in the aviation industry, and who are, therefore, completely confident in their identification of the aircraft type. To perhaps understand these eerie sightings, we need to look back into history. The Peak District's dark peak, known for its treacherous rugged terrain, has seen more than its fair share of tragedy. Over 50 plane crashes have claimed over 100 lives in just one area of these moors. World War II brought a wave of bombers, Lancasters, Halifax and Wellingtons, along with American B-24 Liberators and B-17 Flying Fortresses. These planes on military missions, or even training flights, often didn't make it back. The harsh conditions of the dark peak swallowed many of them, and their wreckage still lies hidden in the mist. The dark peak is often called Britain's very own Bermuda Triangle. Over the years, there have been countless reports of sightings near places like Ashop Moor, Shelf Moor and Kinder Scout. The sightings of these ghost bombers are often reported in the very same areas where the aircraft met their untimely end. One witness of such a craft near Ripley said,
"It was so low, it must have been only around, 2 or 3 houses high. I thought it was going to crash at one point, but it was large and very quiet. I remember it flying above me and my heart stopping for a second. It looked like an old World War II plane. I panicked, because I thought it was coming down on the houses near Ashford Rise, which is near my house. There was no noise or smoke. It just flew off and disappeared between some nearby trees. I went into work later and told my colleagues about what had happened, thinking they would think I was crazy. But one have said they'd seen it as well, out their way. It's so weird really, but I know quite a lot of people have seen them before."
This sighting was no isolated event, however.
The whole thing was really weird. We were driving towards Bancroft when the radio suddenly lost all signal. The sky just went really dark. All of a sudden this huge old aeroplane flew straight over our heads, completely silent, and was heading for the ground. My partner and daughter saw the same thing. We thought it was going to crash, but then it just disappeared. But seconds later we saw what looked like the same aircraft, but this time to our left, and it backed over on its side and looked as though it was going to crash before disappearing. There was no way a real plane could have had the speed or the height to pull out of it, but we didn't hear a crash at all. The whole thing lasted a couple of seconds, and before we knew it, it was all over, and it got brighter again. I don't know if there's such a thing as a ghost plane, but I can't think what else it can be.
In March of 2018, tabloid newspapers were buzzing once again with stories of ghost planes flying across the skies of Derbyshire. The sightings were strikingly similar to those reported years earlier. Silent, grey flames that seemed to vanish just as quickly as they appeared. A group of bikers out riding the Derbyshire roads also reported a strange ghostly aircraft, once again silent low, passing overhead. But why do these ghostly bombers return time and time again? Some say it's the restless souls of the airmen, forever trapped in the dark skies of the Peak District. Others suggest it's the land itself, holding on to the past, unwilling to let go of the tragedies that unfolded there. Whatever the cause, these ghost bombers remain a chilling reminder that some echoes of the past never truly fade. They linger, suspended in the sky, waiting for the next witness.